raise up this brightness. Maybe that's too bright. No, we should be straight. Alright, what's going on, you guys? This your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. Coming at you guys with one of my favorite decks of all time. This deck's very iconic. ZEFRAs are strong, you guys. This is the most unique and I think big brain pendulum deck like ever. It's not like, oh, I just spell counter, draw, Celine. No, this deck's different. It's a different breed. It can completely lock you out of the game. It searches any monster in the game. This deck can play hand traps. This deck can actually play some very unorthodox cards that pendulums typically can't play, because conventional builds these days need their entire hand to be combo pieces to actually go off. This deck can establish a complete board and a complete setup off just 2 cards. 3 cards, the rest of the hand being whatever you need it to be. This deck's super strong. It has an incredible grind game. It's not susceptible to cards like Dark Ruler or Spear Mode. Or, dude, you don't even have to play into Nibiru. You don't. To set up a board, you don't even have to play into Nibiru. Keep in mind, you have a searchable floodgate that locks them out of Nibiru. You're not losing too evenly. Like, this card's just crazy. Like, this deck's crazy. Like, this is a deck very similar like Eldritch, where you can side for one portion of the deck, but you're still going to have to be shut down by the other 2. You could side for the combo portion, get shut down by my counter traps, my back rows, and my hand traps. It's just going to be a very, very difficult time for you guys. This deck's annoying. It's a powerhouse, you guys. It's definitely a contender. This deck is super duper strong. Very, very high ceiling. ZEFRAs are just a different breed, you guys. So I'm going to be showcasing my deck list. I'll explain card choices because a lot of this is unorthodox, you guys. But this deck, when I say it works, it works. And it can grind. It can have its board broken and reestablish it immediately off of 1 or 2 cards. You keep your follow-ups in your hand. You don't have to play the long game if you don't want to. You can still OTK. It's still pendulums, you guys. You're still aggressive. It's super duper crazy, you guys. Love this deck so much. I feel like this list right here is so fire. It's like there's a rare occasion where you're actually getting bodied by anything. Like, they have to work for that win. They have to work really hard because this deck's so hard to kill. It's annoying. Like how Dolce set that wall up, this deck could set up a wall. So I'm going to get into my list and we'll explain interactions as we go along. Starting off with my Anger Translator, 3 copies of ZEFRA. This card, you're going to capitalize off this card every single turn, sending your ZEFRA Neo, getting critical mass, getting advantage, being able to generate a surplus of advantage, turning 1 Providence into 4 cards. That's why you don't need your entire hand, because 1 Providence gets turned into 4 cards, which is crazy. 1 Spell Power Mastery only turns into a scale. That's it, 1 scale. You still need spell counters. 1 Providence by itself without the assistance of other cards, dude, it's crazy. Providence any scale, like, you're just getting a full setup, but Providence turns into like so much. But it's just so crazy. This deck is amazing. ZEFRA is the best scale in the game. This deck has the same utility that Electromite had without Electromite even coming out. Electromite got banned. ZEFRA's was the deck that got hit the least off of it. You could still send any pendulum monster that you need for your archetype to your extra deck, add it, and you could still draw, and you could search any monster. So you're doing everything Electromite was doing. You don't need Celine. You don't need all that stuff. For this deck is overrated. I'm going to continue. 3 copies of ZEFRA Neo, the lifeblood of the deck. If you're not pendulum summoning this card, it's not going to be exceptional. You have to get this card online as quickly as possible. This card's going to replace itself with your archetype-specific engine pieces, whether it's your counter traps or cards to just facilitate more combos, building up your board. And you're really, one of the smartest ways to play ZEFRA Neo is to, as many times as possible, leave him on the field. Leave him on the field so you can use cards like 9 Pillar and ZEFRA War to turn him into another follow-up. So you get a search on your turn and a search on your opponent's turn. That's how ZEFRA Neo plussed that hard for you. And remember, that's happening because what? You drew that Providence. And people can even be like, oh, I Ash Blossom Oracle of ZEFRA. And you're like, okay, I just activate Providence to search it anyway. Or they can have a Ghost, like, you know, they could have a Typhoon for Oracle and then have an Ash for Providence, and you hard drew the ZEFRA Neo. So it's like they're not always going to be able to stop you because you play all your combo pieces that are important are like 3-ofs, and they're also searchable by other 3-ofs. So like it can be really, really hard to hand trap this deck when you open correctly. So optimal hands are always going to be able to bait interruptions. And also you play Gamma in the deck, so it's going to be really, really hard to hand trap this deck. This deck's not easy to beat, and it's not easy to stop. Other combo pendulum variants like Endymion and things of that nature, you could affect Valor, a Blue Boy, and that could be the end of their turn. This deck's not going to stop by that. This deck is gas, and it's going to be able to grind, which is something pendulum decks can't do. It can recover its boards, which is something pendulums can't do excessively. They can't do it expeditiously. They can't do it consistently. It's a rare occasion when a pendulum deck gets Dark Rulered and evenly matched and can come back into that game. It's very rare. especially because they drew most of their deck anyways. 2 copies of ZEFRA. You definitely would play 3. I have 2. I don't know where the third one is, but you should play 3 in this build. This card facilitates a vast majority of your combos. If you have Chao Feng and Yazi, which I still don't have, I got rid of them a while back, you definitely should play them because those cards can be auto wins in certain matchups. Chao Feng is Earth. You summon it with Earths. Adamantispators can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! So this deck has win conditions built in itself that other Pendulum decks just can't make. That's why I say this is different. ZEFRAs just really have that much more utility than any other Pendulum deck. They make cards that Pendulum decks can't make. They do things that Pendulum decks can't do. No other Pendulum deck can really take a monster from your deck, stack it on top, and draw at the same turn. Pendulum decks just don't do that. This deck is different. It's a different breed. 1 ZEFRA Windy, that's how you get the utility of Electromite. Off ZEFRA at the Windy, you open Dragon Shrine and you have an interaction off Windy. You just normal her at the ZEFRA Neo back to your hand. You have complete scales. You have 2 cards on field. Link them in a Link 2. You have ZEFRA Neo in hand, so you don't have to be restricted by the Link mechanic. It's just crazy. This deck operates in such a fluent way. You'd be surprised. You're getting bodied by ZEFRAs and you'd be like, dang, I thought that deck sucked. Nah, this deck is big brain, you guys. And it's not easy to pilot, I will say that. So if you want a more simple deck, go ahead and play, Streamline and Endymion list. I'm very sure that there's other tubers, like for example, my boy Triff, I'm sure he's got an Endymion list for you. If you want a deck that's a bit more skillful and that's going to help you in the long run and give you longevity, a surplus of advantage, and also allow you to play effectively going second using cards like hand traps and other unorthodox cards to help you in your grind game and also to bait interruptions, this is a deck you want to try. This is a channel you want to try because I do ZEFRAs a lot. So 1 Thubin and 1 ZEFRA Saiton to sum up the lineup. In other builds, I've played more ZEFRAs. I've played Core and Pilica, things of that nature. They're not necessary, but at the same time, they're clutch for the interactions that they come up with. So it wouldn't hurt to play them, but also it doesn't hurt to not play them, if that makes sense. So that's going to be the ZEFRA lineup here. Keep in mind, ZEFRA Neo, ZEFRAth, and ZEFRAXI are the most important ZEFRAs to max out on. That's why I really want to put the 3rd ZEFRAXI in. Because those are going to facilitate your biggest and strongest combos, completely shutting your opponent down from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! This deck can also summon Calamities. Like, this deck has so many win conditions. You can still go into Odd Eyes Vortex, Appaloosa. You can make conventional Pendulum boards. You can throw in the Mythical Beast package and send Endymion cards in this deck. I've done that. I do that. But this build is showing you guys the power of just ZEFRAs. The only compact engine for searching out a low scale in this deck is basically just going to be the Dark Worms. We're playing 2 and the 1 gate 0. Suffice to say, you can play a second because it comes up when you can reestablish your board with the Dragon Shrine and any Providence or Oracle. If your board gets broken, you reestablish the whole entire board, getting 2 scales back online and 2 monsters on field and getting your counter trap again. Even if your opponent opened like Dark Ruler, Evenly Matched, Pancratop, Spear Mode, and a red reboot. That's how they probably break the board. But they have to have a Call by the Grave too. Wouldn't know, because some of your hand traps can be called. That's why this deck's annoying. It's not easy to beat this deck, because you're like, okay, I got this Dark Ruler, I got it, and you're like, oh dang, he Calamities me on standby. Okay, that's fine, I activate Imperm, and you're like, oh snap, he had the 9 pillars, he had the Divine Strike. Uh-oh. No, that's fine, because then I could have Red Reboot. He has Ash and Nibiru, Gamma, and what? It's like Eldritch, like for example, when you shut down their combo, they still have their back rows to fall on, and they still have their hand traps to fall on. So that's why I say this deck is really annoying when you build it correctly. It's not easy to beat, not easy to play, don't get me wrong, but it rewards skill, it rewards patience, and sometimes it's just free wins. When you set up those boards, they're different, because conventional Pendulums will lose to all the cards I'm talking about. This deck will set up a board with just 1 monster, 2 back rows, and a couple hand traps, and you'd be like, but I cited Spear Mode. I thought it was Pendulums. I cited Spear Mode. I saw Lava Golem. I cited Dark Ruler. I cited Evenly Matched. He has counter traps for the Evenly. I'm already under Calamities. What's Dark Ruler gonna do? I can't Spear Mode or Lava Golem him. Now you have dead cards in your hand. This deck's crazy, yo. So for the other compact engine that's searching out your skills, we have 3 Magdalenes. This card always gonna bait an interruption as well, because if you start your combo off by normal summoning her, what information does your opponent have besides, okay, the first thing he did was normal Magdalene? If they don't Imperm or Ash it, you do a Madolche combo that they don't know you're not playing Madolches. But essentially, it's going to be interruptions because it puts that fear in them. Madolches are very scary because they can get aggressive off 1 card. This is going to be an interruption because they don't want you to full combo them, but they don't realize you're not playing Madolches. So this card's either going to bait an interruption or get you a free scale. So you play the 1 Predecessor that I don't have. I have a couple filler proxy cards, but it's not that bad. Predecessor, you essentially normal Mageline, search Predecessor, special her, overlay into a rank 4 of your choice, be it Dweller, Tornado Dragon, Gallant Granite, Baguska, it's up to you. You go for Gallant Granite first so that you can search out either Nibiru. If you already had ZEFRA, your Anger Translator, you search Nibiru. If you had Nibiru, then you search out ZEFRA. But you're either going to search either one of those, because when you're playing Pendulums, I'm telling you this right now, when you play Pendulums and you establish a board with multiple counter traps and strong boss monsters in your main zone, you have hand traps in your deck, and you searched out Nibiru, do you know how hard it is to play into a board of Calamities, counter traps, and Nibirus? That's very, very difficult. Reason being, you can't even activate monster effects. You have to find some way to survive, so you have to set up a wall without using monster effects, but you can't set up a wall because you can get Nibiru. The same thing applies when you have like Dweller and just like Odd Eyes Vortex, and there's just generic Link 2, and they're like, oh, okay, this is fine. I can play through the Dweller and the Vortex, the counter trap. Oh, wait, he has Ash. Wait, he searched Nibiru. That's right. It's like, dang, you can side for a combo deck, but this is not like a normal combo deck. That's why if you hear people talk about Eldritch, it's that kind of combo deck where it's really hard to side against it. It's really annoying, very hard to beat. The other filler card I'm playing is one Gizmek Kaku, the fire attribute level 9. I don't have it, so Jizakir is here in its place. It's a proxy. The Gizmek Kaku card. Essentially, you're using a combo with the Ravenous level 9 synchro to use this in tandem with Oracle of ZEFRA to take this from your deck, stack it, and then draw it. And then you special it because he's an extra monster zone. You make your true king of all calamities. That is going to set you up, my friend. That's definitely going to set you up to lock your opponent out of the duel. And that's how you establish a board that doesn't lose to Dark Ruler or Spear Mode or Lava Golem. Even if they kaiju basically the calamities, it's inevitable. The thing with this deck's calamities, this deck makes the strongest calamities because it backs it up with multiple counter traps. So even if you were like, I have a kaiju and an imperm, so I can try to imperm it, and then like, okay, I can chain counter trap. You can kaiju him, but you're still under I'm losing my voice. The lingering effect of calamities. You can Dark Ruler him, but he already applied his effect on standby. You don't care about waiting until they control a card because they can Dark Ruler. That's the first card they activate. You calamities on standby safely, knowing they can't out it because you have multiple counter traps. Even if they have double imperm, you use a counter trap. You end that chain. They have a red reboot. Use your other counter trap. It's just inevitable. You can't play Yu-Gi-Oh against this deck. That's why this deck's so strong. It's really, really like powerful, you guys. Like, there's just a level of degeneracy that, like, Pendulum decks, unlike ZEFRA's, they just can't get that. So continuing on with the spells, as I'm saying, this deck's crazy, you guys. 3 Providence, this plus any low scale is going to turn this card. As long as you have a low scale to pin summon the ZEFRA Neo, this turns into an Oracle, a ZEFRA, and a ZEFRA Neo. ZEFRA Neo gets you a counter trap. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards off of the 1 Providence. So Providence plus Dragon Shrine is going to get you 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 cards in rotation. Actually 6, my bad. So you're going to go +4 off of those 2 cards. This is why ZEFRA's is different from other Pendulum decks. You can establish your entire board. You don't need crazy fields all the time. That's the thing. People think you need a crazy board to beat people. You need skill and resource management and appropriate strategy. You need to navigate correctly. Use your negates on the right card. That's how you're going to beat people. You don't need 6 negates so you can just negate their whole hand. You just need a solid 2-3 powerful interruptions with your hand traps and your follow-ups so that you can OTK them. You simplify the game state and OTK them. That's how you can get really, really good and solid wins with ZEFRA's, and they can't complain. 3 Providence. 3 copies of Oracle of ZEFRA. This card is insane. You can search any monster in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! This field spell is broken, you guys. This field spell is insane. And you get to do the draw to discard effect as well. This Oracle is just insane, you guys. So because you can search your hand traps, if you already did the Calamities combo or you already hard drew the Kaku, essentially you can have a combo line where you basically can go Gallant Granite to search Nibiru and the Ravenous Oracle play to go into Ash. Because I'm not going to lie, Calamities isn't going to be strong against every deck. Like if you play like a stun deck or a back row heavy deck, you'd basically at that point use that Ravenous combo to search Ash. Stack Ash on top of your deck, draw it. Gallant Granite. So basically what I'm really saying is in your combo sequence, you could search 2 hand traps. And guess what? You search counter traps. You search hand traps and counter traps and put out boss monsters at the same time. That's crazy. That can be called redundant at times. It's like, isn't that overkill? Don't you already? Nah. We going for the overkill. And then we have 1 copy of Optimus Prime, 1 set rotation, and this is not mine. This is a Mystic mine. There's a few cards in this deck that I'm actually borrowing from the Duelist Boys, you guys. But when I get mine, I'll be able to showcase this profile with my own cards. But basically, the Terraform and the Set Rotation really are going to give you more oracles. The strength with another strength with Zefras in rotation is this interaction specifically. If you play against a deck that needs field spells, you can lock them out the game from using their field spells because Oracle has to search on activation. It's mandatory. So you can also play around cards like Mystic Mind, not even be able to activate. And if your opponent plays a deck that uses field spells, especially if it's 3 of field spells, they hard draw dead cards. And with Mystic Mind, even though it's a Pendulum deck, it's very, very strong in this deck. It baits interruptions going second. And also keep in mind, you can play a simplified game state of just Pendulum summoning Zefra Neo every turn, searching out 9 Pillar or Zefra War. You use it on the first interaction to negate or pop, and then the Zefra Neo then goes from your field to your face-up extra deck, leaving you with no monsters on your field. You get to search Zefra Providence off of Zefra Neo, so you get extra resources for your follow-up plays, and your opponent can't out the Mystic Mind, because now they don't control the same number of monsters. They can't be like, oh, you have Zefra Neo, I link into Access Code Talker and pop. Oh, I link down into Unicorn, target pop. And if they hard draw their outs to Mystic Mind, you search the counter trap already, the out to the out. So this deck's going to play one of the strongest Mystic Minds. And whenever you're ready, you just OTK your opponent. You could keep it there, deck them out, because I don't play 40 cards. People do. And then you can activate Oracle of Zefra over this whenever you're ready to just go aggro. Keep in mind, when you have that set up and Zefra Neo searches the Providence, you already search a way to turn off the Mystic Mind, because Providence searches Oracle. You could activate it on this and then just OTK your opponent whenever you feel so. So this deck can absolutely take complete control over the game. This is like the strongest Pendulum deck, period. We have 3 copies of Dragon Shrine. This card is one of the most impactful spells in this deck. Seeing Dark Worm is super duper relevant. You guys may think it's overkill, but it's not. I have to see Dragon Shrine or the One Foolish Burial. If I don't see Gate 0, it's gonna kind of hurt because that's my best low scale in the deck. And this is also gonna give me one of the best +1s for my deck to be able to capitalize off of getting the maximum out of the minimum to make sure my hand still stays filled at the end of it. So that's gonna be it for the spells. Okay, 16 minutes in. Now for the traps, I play 2 9 Pillars, 2 Zefra Divine Strike, and 1 Zefra War. You can also reset these off Nightmare Griffin in the long run. This is going to keep you in your grind. These cards are super duper impactful. They're not actually once per turn. This card negates and shuffles, which is one of the most skillful negates. And because people don't really expect normally more than 1, this is where it really becomes difficult because people are not going to expect it or play around it. Hard drawing these is actually insane because now you search one off Zefra Neo, your opponent's going to play around that. They're going to expect it. They won't expect the one you drew. So that's one of the beauties of playing these 5. It's just insane, you guys. The remainder of the deck is actually hand traps. So we're starting off with 3 copies of Nibiru. You could search this off Gallant Granite or just hard draw it. It doesn't matter. That's going to make this deck so ridiculously powerful. Because you can essentially just go Zefra Neo for a counter trap, leave Nibiru up, use your counter trap, pop Zefra Neo. You don't even have any monsters on your field that you can lose, so the Nibiru is free. So you just get out a free Nibiru, and you have counter traps to stop their counter. So if they're like, oh, I just summoned Appaloosa to stop the Nibiru because they saw you search it off Gallant Granite, you're like, I got War, I've got Divine Strike, I've got Imperm, I've got Gamma. Speaking of 3 Gammas, one of the best hand traps you can play in Zefras because all your gas starters, you control no monsters for the most part, almost all of them, where your opponent will, because this is so conventional, people are very scared that as you're activating Providence and Oracle that you can have this, so they kind of let you resolve your cards, which is super duper crazy. So this, again, this deck is annoying, it's hard to beat, it's not going to be easy to play, but also you do have to take time to master this deck because it's not the easiest deck to play, but it's really never easy to beat. You have to really earn your wins with this deck. You can't be like, oh, it's Pendulums, that's fine, I'm just going to Dark Roller no more. Nah, fam. No. So the triple Gamma, the triple Ash, and the triple Imperm. So it's 12 hand traps. The thing with these hand traps is they all synergize with each other. You could always basically simplify the game state with these when you're going second to make it a lot easier to get your engine online, start grinding, OTK your opponent, or slap a Mystic Mind and just get your engine even further. This paired with Imperm or Gamma is going to make it resolve. Gamma paired with Imperm is going to make it resolve. These, what's crazy about 9 of my 12 hand traps is they can't be called by the grave. So that would really make somebody feel like, I just need to side out the callback graves at this point. It's just like this deck is so crazy. I definitely recommend, I didn't bring my Psyframe deck, but you guys should play Lambda in your extra deck. Because you could even do Time Thief Redoer plays where you search Gamma off the Lambda, you search Ash off of basically the Ravenous Crocodilus play, and you search Nibiru off of your Gallant Granite. So if you play the right cards, you could search 3 hand traps. You could search this off Gallant Granite, this off of the redoer, because you can still pin summon after you normal summon Magically. You pin summon 2 level 4s, and you basically make the Time Thief redoer. You do your link play into Lambda redoer, search Gamma. You search this off of the off of the Gallant, you know, and you can still basically do the Ravenous Crocodilus play to stack Ash and draw it. So it's crazy that if you open the nuts in this deck, you could search out 3 hand traps and still search out counter traps, which is just like, that's crazy. So the 12 hand traps, simplify the game state. I don't care if I lose the dice roll. Even if I go first, these hand traps are good going first or second. Gamma is crazy, you guys. Gamma is one of the best. Extra deck is Cross Sheep, which should be an IP Masquerena. I don't have IP or Appaloosa or a lot of really strong links I don't have anymore. No longer Boar Sword. They were being lent to me. So I'm just kind of playing what I have. I would definitely play those better cards if I had them, like Exo Skull Talker, but Cross Sheep, the IP, basically, you know, the Metaltron. This card's insane in its own deck. Boar Load's still a kind of good filler for Avermax or Boar Sword. And then Griffin's actually insane in this deck. You guys should play Griffin. The One True King of all Chlamydia. The Odd Ice package, you can still make Vortex because Zefraxi's crazy with level 4s. Summon out your Gate 0, do that combo. This combo is insane. You might want to play 2 of it because it's so easy to do it. You could easily play 2 of this. This deck can grind. The 1 Don Dragster, the 1 Gallant Granite, the Baguska, Tornado, and the Dweller. Goodness gracious, when I say broken, like, this deck actually is broken. Like, this Pendulum deck is so different. For the side deck, 1 Zephyr Path. Adamant Spader's going to have a hard time. Eldritch can only summon from hand or extra deck. So yeah, you can summon Needle Fiber, but you just can't summon from main deck. You can't summon tokens because they're not coming from the hand or the extra deck. Good luck with that. No Auradon, no Link Cross, no Needle Fiber shenanigans, no Adamantipator specialing. Yeah, you can special from your extra deck, but the thing is, these days, with everybody doing the same combo, this shuts down the same combo everybody's using. So it's a free floodgate. It's protected by Providence and its own effect. You just keep your scales. They can't Twin Twister you. They can't Cyclone you. You have literally Providence to protect from Lightning Storm and Twister, and counter traps to stop the Cyclone. So this is like one of the most impactful floodgates. This plus hand traps and counter traps, it's too much. It's too much. There's like, it's like when you play against Eldritch, it's like, how do I side? What do I do? Like, dang, I Dark Ruler no more his combos. You know, I stopped the Arclight and the Bola Savage, but he has Ash, Imperm, Conquistador. It's like that. Reboot and Pinkerton.